Check, check, 1 2. Check, check, 1 2. I think we're live. I think it's working. I think I forget to. I think I forget to edit things properly, and I forget how to set up the stream properly. And here we are, once again, as per the usual. Just gonna throw that in there. And hello, comrades, and welcome to another episode of Under Construction. I'm your host, Ellis, otherwise known as the Admiral. Today we're starting off with not Tetris, because that's what we do. It's going to be a short show today for two reasons. One is my voice still hasn't totally recovered, and I think it might be a seasonal thing. More than I might need to buy a humidifier, is what I'm saying. I had a humidifier as a child. It's one of those things that I grew up and I thought, what on earth do I need that for? This is what I need that for, apparently. You know, I was not ready for the rigors of winter to attack my body as I became older. And I'm feeling it, Mr. Krabs. It's not great. But, we're going to power through at least some of this. We're going to get some progress. Any progress is good progress. That's something I've said since the very beginning. And I didn't necessarily, come up with it as, wow, that was the worst thing I could have done. As a way to say, hey, doing an hour of show instead of 3 hours is acceptable. What I meant when I said that was, oh, if you're working on scenery instead of track, it's still work, right? If you're working on industries instead of automation, it's still work. It's still going forward. And to the point, everything we've done, except for the work we have put into automation, which really is a very small amount compared to the overall amount of hours for the route. Except for those hours, everything has contributed to where we are today and this big route that sort of sometimes works. It's still a perfectly cromulent route. Hello, Pat. To drive around on and switch industries, and I showed that a little bit last week. We spent some time to do that. And it would be nice to end the full-length streams with a little bit of driving around. Now, the reason why I don't want to do that is something I may get into when we get more, when we get into more of the, into the meat of the show, because I'm just disappointed, honestly. I could rant and rave for a long time, and honestly, I think N3V should consult with me, because I'm just some poor schmuck that has way too many hours in this game, but I feel like I've learned a lot in those hours. Alright. And I think I'm doing well here. I feel like I've learned a lot on how not to play Tetris. We're going to put that one down right there, and then I'm going to put this over to the side here, and then I'm going to put this right here, because it's just, it couldn't be better, right? Now we just need a T to go into there, which we're not going to get. And we're not going to get something that fits right there either, so that's actually quite upsetting. I don't know why the game would do this to me. I don't think I deserve this. I don't deserve this treatment at all. Oh, shoot. Okay. Let's do that. And then that. Yeah, no, famous last words is right. Let's put that there. Pat, I forget. Are you at work now? Do you watch this from work? You have Fridays off now and Thursdays on, which I appreciate you having your GeoGuessr subscription and hosting GeoGuessr matches. That's been a lot of fun. I've been really glad to get back to that, and also I think it's we haven't seen you around so much, and now we have, and that's nice. Oh, now we get the T. Awesome. Yeah, that helps. That helps. Now is when I needed it. Oh, great. Everything's falling over. Oh, shoot. Okay, well, this is not good. That's also very bad. Milky has just gone into rolling line. Lots of people going into Rolling Line these days. I myself am an owner of Rolling Line now, and that's something that I want to talk about during this episode. I hope we get a good little crowd here for this short show, and we get to talk about some of the games that are afoot, including Rolling Line. And I feel bad when I don't do this show on the weekly. I feel like I should do pings. Maybe that would get some more attention. Maybe it would not be great, but maybe I need to like act like a normal server and you work way too much. Well, better than working too little, I suppose. At least you get to eat. Okay, where am I going to put this? Right here? Okay, well that wasn't the worst thing I could have done with that. And then can I... No? Alright, well. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. That was not the wall. I did not touch the wall. I touched other blocks, and physics happened. I feel like I should make a poll. Like, hey, should I ping for you know, stuff that goes in announcements? Would it help? Or at least pinging at here or at everyone. Or Mew knows how to do an at everyone that doesn't sound off right away. And I don't know what that witchcraft is. That's some Discord voodoo that I don't understand. I just feel like at some point I need to start acting like, you know, like a server administrator and not a, just a dude. A dude with a different color name. I mean, for the most part, I'm only one vote when it comes to I love democracy on the server. But, oh shoot, oh shoot, oh shoot. There we go. Let's put that there. This is going well. We're going, everything, it's good. Good things are happening. We got 3 in that. I will see you in a couple of months, Pat. I'm looking forward to it. I'm trying to figure out what my life will look like in a couple of months, other than the big E. There's just a lot up in the air. You'd think the wedding being done would make things less complicated, but really it just meant that a whole bunch of stuff went on my kitchen table, and I'm trying to get it all off before I have 10 people in the house that we're trying to feed all at once. Which, Pat, I assume you're arriving on... I assume you're coming into town on Friday. I know I've seen your flights, but I don't remember what they are. And that means you are welcome to join us at the house for the customary Friday dinner where Gloria makes something awesome. I don't know what that's going to be this year. We have yet to find out. But Gloria got a whole bunch of recipes as bridal shower gifts and wants to try them out. We also got a couple of cookbooks. I need to organize the cookbooks. That's like an underrated thing on my list of things to do. So, you know, there's a lot of things to do in my life right now. I get done with my work day. I take the dog for a walk, and I come home and I look at all the stuff that I have to assemble or install or what have you. And for the last couple days, and I should show this off a little bit more, for the last couple of days, my thing that I've been doing for quote-unquote productivity is I have been, with Gloria's help, building the Trevi Fountain in Lego. We finished that yesterday evening. The previous day we were working on it until 1 in the morning. Okay, this is over. We're done. We're done. We're done. We're done. We're done. We're done. Please try again. No, I will not be trying again. We will try again next week. And now we must go on to the reason we're all here. And I must send the thing. You know, I think I should be pinging for these things. And again, I will make a poll for it. But I think I should be pinging for these things because I grew up in an era, and this is going to be a weird back in my day, right? I grew up in an era where where you turned on the television at a specific time to watch the show you wanted to watch. And that was the only way you got to watch the show that you wanted to watch. When I was young, they invented this thing called the DVR, which, boy, a piece of technology that came in and out of fashion really fast is the DVR, the digital video recorder, which was really just a way to tape your favorite programs so that you could watch them later without using a tape on it. Um, and many that watch this are going to know what I'm talking about, but many that watch this are not. Um, and that's the fascinating thing about it, if you ask me. It is something that came into fashion in probably like the mid-aughts. I'm looking for a certain fence right now. And then very rapidly went out of fashion within a couple of decades. They're all gone because what do you need that for these days? The only reason a DVR is useful is when you're watching a show live, or when you have a show that you want to watch live on cable. Um, because back in my day, .wmv, if you didn't catch your show live on cable, you would never get to see that episode until it came into syndication or you got really lucky. Um, there's a reason that going and sitting down in front of the TV at a certain time every week, every Thursday, used to be so damn important. Uh, and it's because that was your one shot, your one opportunity. Um, and now there's no such thing, right? Like now, sure, yeah, okay. You wanna catch your favorite sporting event live. I get that. So do I. I'm probably going to end this early because the Jets game, well, the Patriots game, where they are going to obliterate the Jets, I dearly hope, um, is coming on in about an hour. And I want to see that live. But I don't need to. Like, there's going to be highlights on YouTube at the very least, but I could DVR it and watch it later. It's on Amazon Video, so I can probably get like a VOD of it. You can get a VOD of anything you want, you know? It's like, I was there for Kurt J. Mack arriving at the Far Lands, right? But if you want to see where that literally came from, you can just go back and rewatch that stream. It's the same moment. It's not edited. It's not, taken out. It doesn't even have the chat removed. It's just there. I assume it doesn't have the chat removed, the live chat replay. And that is the normal occurrence. It is weird in today's technological era. If you find a piece of media, or sorry, it's weird in our day and age if you cannot find a given piece of media to watch at this very moment. Any movie, any TV show, it's on something. And I don't mean it's on the DVDs you have in your closet from the era before, Netflix pivoted, the greatest pivot of all time. And that's not really praise to Netflix because Netflix has become the worst streaming service, apparently. I don't know. I don't really follow streaming services. I'm one of those saps who still has a DVR and cable. But the point is, Netflix made this massive pivot, and before that they had DVDs. You young whippersnappers might not know all that. No, so... Alright. Now we just gotta put these guys down the middle. I don't remember where I was going with this totally, but the point is we don't live in that era anymore. The point is hey, Mopac, I am the exception, not the rule, when it comes to, everything. Mopac, how's it going with dealing with all the wedding gifts I assume you got? Did you pile them all on your kitchen table like I did? I feel like I should get a take from another person who just got married. Um, but and have you gone through them all yet? Because I have not. I still have plenty. So much China. Oh, I didn't get any of that. We mostly asked for like appliances, like little kitchen appliances and like tech stuff. Like we got automatic feeders for the animals and stuff like that. Um, China is a hell of a place. We had too much, honestly. We had too many bowls and plates and cups and utensils. We have like 3 sets of utensils to begin with. Um, so I didn't even think to ask for that stuff. Well, we did get some kitchen supply, not kitchen supplies, like big utensils, like big scrapers and like baking supplies. Like a big spoons, stuff like that. But I didn't even consider like regular utensils and plates. We got some serving platters. We got some big mixing bowls. 4 dinner sets. Oh my god. Did you guys have a registry, or did people just like take it upon themselves to give you dinner sets? Because that's incredible. Yeah, you can open up a soup kitchen. Hey, no time like the present, right? Um, yeah, you just need some good soup recipes. Um, I have none to recommend because I don't like soup. But, oh, Gloria heard the word soup. That's Gloria's sleeper agent activation phase. Been spending this whole time talking about the wedding. Now the wedding means nothing to Gloria. I can say wedding 100 times, Gloria doesn't even stir. But I say soup, and Gloria comes in here like a gremlin I've just fed after midnight. Uh, Hello, darling. Uh, 4 dinner sets. Yeah, it's about 3 too many, I would say. Uh, it's an unusual number of dinner sets. It's more than you're supposed to have. Maybe 2 is okay. 2 is okay. I don't know how much comes in a dinner set. Like, on balance, how many bowls do you have? Mopac. Can you give me a ballpark number? Is it 2 digits or 3?
4 dinner sets.
Yeah.
We got no sets.
Yeah, because we didn't ask for any dinner sets because we didn't need any more plates and bowls. I had gone to.
You can go to Savers for that.
Yeah, I was about to say I had gone to Savers shortly. Oh, there's garage doors on the backs of these.
Cute.
Yeah, but I'm not. There's I'm ignoring those. I'm ignoring those. I'm not putting an alley back here. I'm just putting fenced-in yards.
No grass.
The grass comes later. Don't worry. 25 bowels. I'm hoping you meant bowls. That's a lot of bowls.
That's a lot of bowls.
I've got a lot of bowls. Okay, you can rub them, just don't hurt my family. That's a mix of 2 jokes. Okay, so the you can rub them but don't hurt my family, the Archer joke, right? But what I was thinking of was from one of the newer Pink Panther movies, which is no, one of the newer Pink Panther movies. I haven't seen the new Naked Gun. I'd like to. I think that would be a fun community playdate slash, movie night. Would be to watch the new Naked Gun. I think it's free on YouTube, so we can swing that. At least it is right now. But there's a moment where he goes like to someone, and there's big brass bowls on the table, and he says, "Oh, I want to touch your big brass bowls," and the guy's like, "Oh, okay," and starts unzipping his pants. That was an interesting era in movies. I don't know if anyone else has seen those movies. There's a couple of hamburgers. Those are the ones that are clean. There's more in the sink of the dishwasher. I don't have a dishwasher. I mean, I have everything I see reminds me of her. I do have a dishwasher. His name is Ellis. But I don't want to sacrifice my precious counter space for a dishwasher. I could get one installed, but I don't want to. and the thought has crossed my mind to get a portable one. Uh, yeah, I Gloria's cousin has one, and again, the thought has crossed my mind. I'm just not sure. Like, on the one hand, I'm like, oh, that's kind of, you know, that's not bougie enough for me. That's whatever. I'm above that, which I should not be saying because I'm not above anything really. Um, I haven't seen any of the old Naked Gun movies either, so I know them through the memes, but I've thought about maybe getting one of those portable dishwashers because it's something, right? It's something, and then I think about, well, where do I put that? Where do I put that when I'm not using it? I already have enough crap that gets like wheeled out of the way. Um, I didn't know if you were laughing or blowing on your pizza. Um, you were? Oh. Well, would you agree that we have enough crap that gets sort of wheeled around as it needs to be because it's in the way? We have more of that now with the wine rack. The wine rack is like a number one thing in the way right now, other than all the board games on the table. Um, on the other table that I unfolded so that I had more room to put things on tables while I figured out where everything went. We almost have enough room on the kitchen table to move all the board games onto the kitchen table to then figure out where to put those. Um, but it's an uphill battle. Hey, Mossy Mug, I'm back for a limited time offer. If you call right now, um, hold on, Let's see if I can add like a strip of dirt in here. Not that kind of dirt. Yeah, this kind of dirt. Decrease the radius all the way down. But this building is a little intuitive to me because it's been a long road of getting from there to here and figuring out how to build in this game. Um, what do? I text to a random amount of numbers. Yeah. Actually, you just need to send me photos of your credit card. Uh, that's all, front and back. Um,
And the pin number, please.
yeah. Uh, I am John Train Man, and I need your help. Uh, all I need is the numbers from your mom's credit card. So, what did you find on Peacock?
Screenshot I sent you.
What?
The screenshot I sent you is right.
What screenshot did you send me? I don't remember this. Oh yeah. Oh okay. Yeah. Gloria found Thomas on the Magic Railroad on Peacock. Mozzie Mug says anything for you, King. Oh man, this is why I missed this. Um, and sadly, I am going to be missing you, Mossy Mug, because I will not be coming up on the 13th to dress up in a nice suit and get sooted on by 9 and probably 11. Um, because that is the Providence Northern Open House that weekend, and I'm bummed. I'm bummed everything has to happen on the same weekend. The weekend before that is the Empire Review, which is a local improv show that I'm thinking of going to. The 13th. The 13th. It's the 13th and the 14th. It's the whole weekend. Um, and I've got to be there or else some things that need to get done will not get done. That's the way it is. That is the way the cookie crumbles. I don't really know what to do with this row of buildings. I was sort of filling space weirdly. Oh, you're brakeman on the 6th? Wait, there's something going on the 6th? I could make an excuse to come up on the 6th. I need to do brakeman stuff. I need to get that out of the way. I need to, like, do the interview and trainee and whatever. Because, like, I need to move up the ranks. Someday I want to drive the Model T. Trainz, probably. Well, that's good to know. Do I get really lazy with this block and this block specifically? I really don't know what to do with this. Uh, this is a window into the future of what building Tolbrand is going to be like. Well, Pat, you should go to Maine. Uh, if you like trains, you should go to Maine. That's where the best trains are. Um,
But there was a question that was me earlier.
well, I'd hope they wouldn't think it would be me. Otherwise, they assume that I am incredibly multi-talented. I can talk and burp at once. Uh, I was gonna say I'm up there with the best ventriloquists in the world. Um, I'm gonna give these guys really long driveways. I guess I don't know what to do with this area here. Um, Crew calendar says the ninth. Oh, the sixth is the first day of Victorian Christmas. Ah, well, how about that? Um, okay, so let's scoot this up to here, and then scoot this over to here. Okay. Uh,
The ex-creator of Twitter is bringing back Vine.
oh God, for real?
Yeah, and it's going to be strictly content creators only, and AI's content is strictly prohibited.
Well, I wish them luck with that.
Oh my god, Macaulay Culkin's going to be in the new Fallout,
I'm
Fallout season.
what?
Yeah,
Macaulay Culkin is going to be in Fallout Season 2. We need to finish Fallout Season 1.
yeah, because Fallout Season 2 is New Vegas.
And it's in like a couple weeks, right? The new Fallout season is airing like the beginning of December.
December 17th.
Oh, okay, middle of December then. Okay, we've got slightly more than a month in that case. Um, we need to watch some Fallout TV show. That's for sure. We need to get caught up with that.
Well, we've been a little preoccupied.
Yeah, we have been just a little. We've been, getting married and stuff, but we already did that.
Getting married and all, you know.
We did that though. We're done with getting married. I'm done getting it. Hopefully,
You
never
want to
repeat
again?
it. No, never.
Not even to like renew our vows.
Well, it's not getting married, but there's a joke in here about not repeating the same mistake twice. Yeah, I know. Oof, got married. Don't want to. Never doing that again. Ooh. Having a wife is good. Getting married, not good. I would say that there's probably not going to be a steam locomotive at the Big E because that's a real big headache. Where there is going to be a steam locomotive is back at Edaville, which is interesting. I got an email. I got an email because I got an email because I went to King Richard's Fair this year, which, for those who don't know, is on the grounds of Edaville. Rest in peace, Edaville. But they are presumably taking the moss off the sign to bring back Edaville in the wintertime. Because as anybody who knows tourist rareting knows, Christmas time is the most important time. Everyone's stream is a little behind. That's how it goes. I think there's a way that I can reduce stream latency, but honestly, it's probably not worth it. That way, if I screw up and have a oh God, what was the? Never mind. Who was the? Was it Janis Joplin? Who was it that had the quote unquote wardrobe malfunction at the Super Bowl? I'm just saying, if I had a moment like that, then I could kill the stream before the world gets to see it. Maybe. I don't know in what way that would ever happen. I'm wearing pants. This is not a work from home meeting sort of situation. No, it was not Lady Gaga. It was much earlier than that. It was Justin Timberlake and somebody. Lady Gaga's Super Bowl halftime performance was the greatest of all time because it was the catalyst for the greatest Super Bowl comeback of all time, which is the Patriots versus the Atlanta Falcons, aka 28-3. Oh, jeez, I'm already running out of voice. Which I just finished rewatching the John Boyce Atlanta Falcons series, and I've moved on to watching the John Boyce Minnesota Vikings series, which is great because the Minnesota Vikings have an absolutely staggering number of like incredible players who ended up in the Hall of Fame. And this weekend, I'm going to visit the NFL Hall of Fame in Canton. Tomorrow, actually, right when we get done with this, uh, I'm going to be taking off, packing. Tomorrow morning, we're taking off for Cleveland, um, going to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, going to see a Cleveland Browns game and a Ravens game. Um, Gloria would be cheering if they were in earshot. Greatest of all time was Creed. I mean, I can't, I don't really have a stake um, in what I think the greatest of all time is. I only think that it's Lady Gaga because of the comeback and also because I like Lady Gaga. Um, I would love to. What I think would be a fun exercise is going through all of the Super Bowl halftime shows and like ranking them or like tier listing them, you know? I mean, you'd have to have criteria. I don't know what the criteria would be for a good halftime show. I would think like, like choreography, actually like the music, um the like how well it shows off the artist's abilities, I think should be important, and also how well it speaks to their repertoire and catalog, right? Like one time, the one of like one of one I think times I went to the Newport Folk Festival, which is a fantastic music festival. Um, One of the bands that was playing that I really wanted to see was Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats, and he has two songs that I think are that I know particularly well, which are "Son of a," I think, or maybe it's just "SOB" or whatever, and my personal favorite, which is "I Need Never Get Old," which has a really fun music video. Oh, I'm glad. I see. Real respects real, right? Real recognize real. Um, and I was like, oh, sweet! I get to see Nathaniel Rateliff, and they're gonna play, my favorite song live, surely because it's a very good song of theirs. Um, and then they didn't play any of their songs because they were the show of the day that had the secret guest appearance. And the secret guest appearance of that year was Paul Simon. Now, that does mean I get to say I saw Paul Simon live, but all they did was play Paul Simon songs, and I was like, this is not what I signed up for. This is not what I came here for. Um, and I was, like, I wasn't bummed, but I was a little let down. Um, for those in the audience, what is a band that you have not, or what is an artist, a musical artist that you have not seen live that you really, really would like to? Like, what's at the top of your list? If I said you could have tickets to any concert right now, what concert is that going to be? And I suppose I should limit it to people that are actually playing, or at least people that are actually alive, because like I would love to go to a Pink Floyd show, but that's not going to happen. Um, Plays the riff to "You Can Call Me Al" on repeat for hours. It's funny because Paul Simon's getting up in the years. They did all the energetic stuff without him, and then they brought him out there for like the less energetic stuff. I wish I could remember any of what was played, really. I bet my mother has recordings of all of it because that's what she does. I'm the kind of person to, if I'm at a live event of any description, my phone is staying in my pocket. My first ever like real concert was Coldplay, and I've seen them more than I think any other band. Which isn't really something I set out to do. It's like, oh, Coldplay is back at Gillette Stadium. Would you want to go see them? Yeah, sure, why not? Um, And so I went a couple times with my mother, and I went a couple times on my own. Um, the second behind that is Boston. I've seen Boston in concert 3 times, and that was a blast. I would do that again. Uh, Black Keys or Shaky Graves? Ooh, I bet you TJ would be right there with you with Shaky Graves. Um, I know of the Black Keys. I could not think like I don't know anything of theirs. I just know of them. Like I've heard the name before. And of course, I read that and my brain autocompletes the Black Eyed Peas, and it's like, no, 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 not that, not that. Um, you know, when you come up, I will play lots of their music. Hey, you're welcome to do so. Last time last time we listened to the Big Dig podcast, the Black Eyed Keys. Oh, okay, yeah, no. Favorite musician you haven't seen yet. Also, give me a musical name matchup, a mashup. That's you know, you can do something chaotic with that. This is like an Ask Reddit post. Uh, I'm trying to think of any. Well, I feel like you could do something with the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, or just the Mighty Mighty Boston. There you go. The Mighty Mighty Led Zeppelin. You could put a lot of things in there. Um, there we go. Led Lizzy instead of Thin Lizzy, which I assume is a play on Tin Lizzy. I'm not sure. I would expect. It sounds about right. Um, this is a lot of little yards. See, I'm not. I don't have my creative juices flowing. If I sat down with like a list of bands, then I could. Then I could bang something out. Also, Doja Cat. Okay, well, that's someone I know. Uh, let's see. I can go there. Yeah, these don't line up quite right, which is, it adds to the realism of the thing. I know Gloria would want to see Eminem more than anybody else, and I wouldn't be opposed to that. I feel like I should be snagging some concert tickets, but I have some things to pay off from the wedding still. Uh, Charlie XCX. That's someone that I think I know of, and if Gloria was in here, I bet would have something to say about that. I am fascinated by your musical taste, and mine's kind of all over the map. I've got everything from Led Zeppelin to Lord Huron. I've got everything from Paul Simon to Skrillex in my iTunes library. Music that I have in fact paid for, right? So like that it's something. Weird Al, I bet is a lot of fun in concert. Postmodern Jukebox was a lot of fun in concert because it's it's like they're making covers of their own covers. Honestly, like I went to one of their shows and I expected to hear stuff I was familiar with, but I heard stuff that I was not. You've seen Weird Al twice. That's awesome. Um, how much were tickets to see Weird Al? That I have to know. um, we had we had we have like plenty of artists that come to town, and I'm bummed that I miss. And I would be going to concerts every week if I could. I really do like live music. And what's funny is when I was first given tickets to that first Coldplay concert, I would I think I said like, oh, I don't like live music, which is a really cruddy thing to say when someone gives you tickets. But what I meant was I don't like live versions of songs, and maybe it's just the way my brain is, but like if something's a little bit different than I expect, I'm much better about this these days. It just takes me a while to sort of it doesn't it subverts my expectations and not in a way that tickles my brain and gives me happy chemicals. It just makes me go like, oh, my expectations have been subverted and I'm not having fun. Uh, and that's what happened my first time seeing Postmodern Jukebox. But a free with entry to the Del Mar Fair, that's awesome. Well, hey, I can't argue with that price. Um, Unfortunately, it does not provide me the insight I was hoping to get out of how much does it cost to go see Weird Al in concert. But hey, is what it is. Um, Good answer as any. Uh, Weird Al used to play the Del Mar Fair in San Diego County every year as his parents lived in Fallbrook, California. Very cool. There's a Del Mar seafood around here, and I'm wondering if that's part of a chain that has anything to do with that, or if that's just like a just they picked up the name because it's associated with being by the seaside. Um, what's an artist that you would want to see in concert that you haven't seen yet? Like, what's at the top of your list?
Do you really have to ask that question?
Other than Eminem.
Oh, uh, T-Pain.
Really?
Yeah, his shows are fucking great.
Okay.
I've seen clips all on TikTok of his shows, and they look fantastic.
That's really neat. I would never have guessed that in a million years. What? I don't know if I know any. I mean, other than I'm on a boat, right? I don't know if I know any T-Pain songs.
That's not T-Pain.
No?
That's Akon.
Oh, Akon. Who is which Lonely Island song is T-Pain in? And I feel like it's got to be something worse than I'm on a boat. My girlfriend is obsessed with T-Pain, says Mossy Mug. I feel like there is one. I might be totally off base.
Oh, it is. I'm on a boat.
It is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I
just said sex is Akon. I'm trying to remember you know, when they do the introductions at the beginning of the song, like which song it is. That's a little bit of telling on ourselves. I'm just gonna leave that there.
But Akon, no, not Akon.
T-Pain.
T-Pain. Hold on, I'm gonna go up and read some of the songs. Probably.
Like what songs of his have we listened to?
You've definitely heard "Buy You a Drink."
Buy you a drink.
I'm gonna take her home with me. I got money in the bank. No. I gotta educate your own cultured ass.
Listen.
Don't listen me. Don't know who T-Pain is. What's wrong
I know
with
who
you?
T-Pain is. I just don't know any of his songs. I know he exists.
He was on The Good Life, which is a Kanye West song. Cyclone.
In the eyes of a cyclone, there is quiet. For just a moment.
Booty Work.
Booty Work. Booty Work, everybody. Okay. I need to fill in this. Mossy Muggs, one of Mossy Muggs' picks is Charlie XIX. Or XCX.
Charlie XCX? Oh, that's a good one, too.
Yeah, I said you'd appreciate that pick. Okay.
I'd like to see... I don't know. I want to see the Gorillas. I know it's not like a singular... I know it's not like an artist, but it's like a band.
That's an artist.
I want to see the Gorillas in concert real bad.
Artist is like a big circle, and band is like in a smaller circle. Because I originally said band, and I'm just thinking, well, that doesn't really cover everything, does it? Because if you said you wanted to see... Is Gorillaz one person?
I think it is one person.
Well, if you said you wanted to see, you know, like The Weeknd, right? Mm-hmm. Or like Tame Impala. It's like, that's not a band. You know, there aren't... I don't know about how they do their shows, but, like, I'm assuming they're not bringing instruments up there and, like, one-man banding it. They have tools for this. Yeah. So you can't say you're going to see a band, but you are going to see a musical artist.
I mean, I have a list in my notes app of... Well, I had a list in my notes app of artists that I wanted to see in concert.
Here's my order of my list that it's in. It goes Jay-Z, Reggie, Tupac, and Biggie.
Um, I would like to see Doechii in concert. Um, maybe Cardi B.
And Stefan Diggs.
Hey, he might be there. You could get an autograph, and I can also get an autograph. I don't know if Five Finger Death Punch is still like making music, but I would like to see them in concert too.
I love the idea of like finding Stefan Diggs at a concert and being like, I want to thank you for everything you've done for the Patriots. And I hope,
Logic is also a good one too.
I hope you have fun with all those kids that you're having.
He's having one.
Not, I mean, with other people. Oh, shoot. This doesn't quite fit. Stefan Diggs is real wide receiver 1 material because he is having many children at once. Stefan Diggs is the epitome of like the if one woman can create a baby in 9 months, how fast can 2 women create babies? And yes, Redding, I did remember to put up your thumbnail this time. I thank you for both making it and for reminding me to use it, because I went looking for it last time and I couldn't find it. I was like, where the heck did I put this thumbnail? Whatever, we're just going to have to go because I'm already late. And of course, I was 10 minutes late this time because YouTube, I'm going to blame YouTube. YouTube is really, I don't know why there's a feature to copy over the data from a previous video, but not a previous stream. You can do one but not the other, and it seems kind of weird to me that you can do one but not the other. I want to be able to do both because it saves me an awful lot of time and it prevents me from needing to look up what the format for the stream title is every time I start the stream. And when I have only one thing that I'm streaming on the regular, it's not a problem. But when I have 2 things, like for example, Under Construction and also the podcast, which I would enjoy that as a radio show. And I think you all should jump on because it's a lot of fun. We're going to be trying that again, not this coming weekend, but the weekend after that. And really, the biggest hurdle is I need to lock everything in. But I need to find time for... Excuse me. I need to find time for some Locomotive Versus stuff as well, because I'm missing that. There's a bunch of stuff that we need to do Locomotive Versus wise. There's a bracket that needs to happen. I need to rework how style points work in regular Locomotive Versus, because honestly, I think the age of Locomotive with 11 bajillion style points just wins because it totally overwhelms the number of stat calls is kind of old hat. We could move past that. But I don't know how to do it. I think I have an idea, right? I have an idea with what to do with that, which is when you leave stats in Locomotive Versus, regular Locomotive Versus, when you leave stats, right now it just goes into style points. Well, you get Judge's Choice, but then it goes into style points, and then it stays in style points until both players have run out of, or at least one player has run out of style points, and then that's it. That's not very entertaining. It takes forever. It's not super competitive. It's just, okay, who has more style points, right? And if you're down by a bunch, do you have enough to make up the difference? I think what to do is if you go from regular statistics into style points, once you go into style points, you have a 25-point pool. And that's 25 points, not 25 calls. 25-point pool to draw from. The person who is trailing gets to call up until they are tied or leading. If they're, down by like half a point, they get a full point. And then you go back and forth. Whoever is, no, that you just literally go back and forth. And where is shrimps? Shrimps? Hashtag no more Royales. Hi Tyler. Hi Casey. Uh, Tyler, I'm figuring because you're busy. Well, it do be like that. Don't worry, I'm busy too. You're off the hook for a little while. No, so I think you leave style points. Or sorry, you leave statistics. You go into style points. You have a pool of 25 style points. The person who's trailing gets to call as many until they are tied or leading, and then it goes back and forth between the two contestants until the pool is depleted. Once the pool is depleted, if the contestants are 1 point apart or fewer, or sorry, if the contestants are more than 1 point apart, the game is over. And the winner, the win goes to the person who is leading. If they are 1 point or less apart, 1 point or half a point apart, or whatever fraction of a point that I decided to give in a lapse of judgment, then it continues to go back and forth until someone gets more than 1 point ahead. Or until a player throws in the towel, says I'm out of style points, I lose. Which, it leads to the potential for these long games where we have two locomotives with a ton of style points, but otherwise, it doesn't let someone just get totally trampled, and there's a mechanism for ending the game if there's a lot of style points in play. It comes down to how good you are at making use of your style points. Calling your full points instead of your half a points, things like that. Basically, Locomotive Versus has always been the most deterministic game mode. I mean, it's the one we came up with first, and it's the one that, it's supposed to be fairly deterministic. It's designed to settle arguments. So if you have two people and two locomotives, repeating the game over and over again should not really change the outcome unless it was a really close match. We've had plenty of ties, though, so I think a different play could cause a different outcome for many of those. Oh, and TJ's here too. Bing bong. I always love to see the watch party. Okay. I don't know how to make this area back here look any good. This is kind of cruddy, honestly. I don't love this. I think maybe I could fence this off. Okay. Okay. Now what? I could fence this off. I feel like I should use... Maybe actually a wall will do. I need like a brick wall. This is the most interesting area that I've made so far, and I need a texture in there. Oh, it's already 8:04. Wow, this hour really caught up with me. My darling love, may I ask you a favor? Before my voice completely gives out, can you please refill my water? Why don't I have a brick? I swear I had one. Something else I should try is an area with brick or cobbled streets. I don't know where that would be in this area because this whole area is fairly new. I will maybe I can put in like a historic district down here near the mill. Plural. Yeah. I'd like to think I'm better at making industries than the Appalachian Railway developers, and I mean no offense regarding that, but I don't know why they put so many tracks on everything. And this is going to be a real sidebar. Now, I wanted to talk about rolling line because rolling line is rolling line, but I got a sidebar because, as some of you may know, I recently downloaded the Appalachian Railway, which is the humongous, like, gargantuan. I almost called it a DLC. It practically could be. Um, the giant map mod for Railroader, which adds a tremendous amount of branch line to our existing branch line. And thank you. And yeah, hold on. I'm trying to make sure this is at a right angle to that. I don't think it is. And I don't have too many complaints. I think it's kind of incredible. It's a lot of, yeah. I know. I'm not sure. Oh, I guess I can put it on the TV. Uh, room service midstream. Yeah, no, I got room service over here. They, you just got called room service. I mean, you are servicing me in this room. That's not what I meant. Okay. Um, maybe being married isn't so bad. Somebody says. Hunter says. Why can't I get this to be at a right angle? For crying out loud. Oh great, people heard that. People heard that! Oh, Gloria's outside. Uh, no way, don't call me out. It's a shame there will be no recollection, or, no way to tell. What am I doing? I'm giving up on this. I'm giving up on this. I'm just gonna, it is what it is. I want to put a playground back here. I want to put like a set of swings or something. And I swear I saw city office. No. I swear I saw something. Oh, we got a steam plant. Oh, I think I already used that. I used something. Also, new stream thumbnail. I am taking any and all comers when it comes to stream thumbnails. I would love to keep them on rotation to keep things interesting and cool. And I think I am going to keep them on rotation. At least for the two that I have currently. If you go and take a screenshot on the route and maybe ask Redding nicely how he set up the screenshot. Wait a minute, this building says Alstom. Then, or set up the thumbnail, then maybe we can have even more thumbnails. Does it need to be train related or can it be anything? I mean, as long as it's on the map, I don't really care. I suppose it can be anything. Let's see, can I get a chain link fence in here? If you want to take some, nice screenshots of, like, the cityscape or something, and then put that with a banner. No, you can download the route. The route is available in in the Tolbrun Peninsula thread in the Fake Model Rareting channel on the Discord. I'm just saying, ask Redding for the thumbnail, like, outline, or the bar on the bottom. So that they can all be standardized. Because, standard. No, not a picture of Phoebe and Luca. I watched Luca, by the way. That's a totally random aside. I finally watched that movie. I watched it while Gloria and I were making our Lego Trevi Fountain, which I would love to show to you all, but I'm afraid if it tries to get carried in here, something terrible will befall it. At some point, I do have to carry it in here. At some point, it needs to find a home inside the house and not just live on the table on the porch. Um, and TJ, I want to apologize to you in advance because God, this place is a mess. I'm trying to like make it a little more hospitable. Like I took out the trash and stuff, but there's just stuff everywhere. Um, you're rather creeped out. Listen, Luca did plenty of watching me. Um, so I think fair is fair. Um, how are we gonna get people into here? Probably this way. Um, yeah. Gonna have to put up some kind of wall here to separate this, I think. Not a retaining wall. I think it's gotta be... I think it should be like a pillarless wall, maybe? But... like this? That's too low. That's also too low. I need like a 6-foot tall wall. I need one that you'd have to stand on your car to see over. Geez, these are so small. Okay. Yeah, no, that's not it either. Maybe even like concrete, but that would be too nice. Or too like modern and... what is this? Yeah, okay. I'll bite with that. Is there a way to look at the thumbnail collection, or is that just in the server? There's only 2 so far, so I don't have a place to put them, or like a need to put them anywhere yet. But if I have a bunch of them, then maybe I'll try to pin them all together so that people can see what we have and what we don't. That seems like a good idea. Let's go here. Hello, Matt. How are you? I'm sorry to hear about your pain in the neck vehicle. I haven't talked to Tony about anything really, about the cars since the wedding trip. And yeah, I'm also nervous to do car stuff because of the ensuing headaches that are likely. All right, let's put this here. Okay. Oops. Okay. And then I just want like a chain link fence over here, I think. Or something. Maybe I don't need that at all, actually. I would like to see if it will let me get away with, because I'm not sure if this is 5-meter grid or not. If it'll let me get away with the smallest, like... yeah, like this, down the edge here. Yeah, why not? Okay. And that. And that. Okay. Now we have a way in to this. And I think I should extend this gravel this way. But I still want asphalt around the side here. I want asphalt around the side, and I want it around the back here. Okay. Okay, well that's something. It's not great, but it's something. Do Reading blue liners exist in trains? I don't know. Casey, are you still here? Do you know? I don't know what they are, but I'm inclined to say no. But of course, I don't know what they are. So my saying no doesn't mean anything at all. Okay. So I'm going to extend this pavement to over here for now. If they do exist in trains, I'd like to know what well, I'd like to know what they are either way. But if they do exist in trains, then I may be interested. Once I do know what they are. Oh, they do not. Okay. They're renting company coaches with pantographs. Oh, okay. That looked like a knockoff Blue Comet. Interesting. No, they don't sort of. Coach bodies exist, but not as locomotives, I imagine. Like, they cannot locomote on their own. You have to attach a invisible locomotive to them to get them to do the thing. Or, if you're me, you attach, like, a pickup truck to them. Those who, if you know, you know. That's what the car spawners do. Alright, we're about 10 minutes from kickoff. I don't know how much I'm going to continue this after kickoff happens, because apparently I'd need to give my voice a rest. Just forever now. Throw a picture in the Tolbrin thread if you want. Or in streaming and recording, or in the foam pit, or something. Okay, let's do that. Mailman Dave says, Ellis, I have come to deliver your mail. Excellent. What mail do you have for me, Mailman Dave? Now I wait for the lag to catch up with the stream. I think it means you need to stream more so your voice gets used to it. Listen, I would love to. I mean, in fairness, it looks to be that I'm going to be doing more streaming than ever if we do this podcast thing all the time. But that means people got to show up for it. Bills. Oh, well, get out of here. I got enough of those. We just got a letter. Throw it in the trash. Also, what?
The person who called me room service.
Yeah. Gloria hopes you stub your toe, Hunter. I mean, you did bring me stuff, though.
You're my husband. You're supposed to defend me here.
Yeah, I mean, I can't defend you doing, like, a thankless act. I appreciate that, and it should be recognized. Okay. What do the people want? The people want Lafayette? Do the people want Lafayette? Did you walk in with the mail? No. No, never mind. No. The mail did not come into this room. The mail is in the other room. Look at all this like look at all the ghetto that I need to build over here. That's what this is gonna be. This is gonna be the wrong side of the tracks neighborhood. Like, seriously, I was like, oh, we've got all this space over here. I should put something here. And it's like, yeah, exactly. This is gonna be the Center Falls. I still got mail, so we won chat. I did get mail. I did. It's junk, but I got it. It's bills and junk. Okay. Oh my god. Thump, thump, thump. There's Lafayette. Okay. I need to put something, like, this is the most annoying triangle to me right now, is this right here, because I need to add a couple more roads. And then over here is going to be the university, and then I'm going to try to figure out how to do copy-paste blocks. I'm running out of voice. But I mean, this going in this direction is a like a different thing. I think it's going to be, or, you know, a project for another time. This is going to be interesting because we're going to be running through the suburbs, and part of me wants to, instead of following the river, just sort of cut this way for a little while and just run through suburbs. their DMs accumulated in my mailbox, so I would record a video of me walking to my mailbox and opening it. If there was crap inside, I mean I had gotten their message. Did you record a video of you opening the mailbox and like nothing is in there, so you could be like the equivalent of "Yo, my phone is so dry right now"? Because I feel like that sometimes. As I've said before, the real male loneliness epidemic is when I'm driving somewhere and there's no one in the Discord call with me. this road needs to get fixed like that, and I need enough space. Oh. I need enough space to get these rails in here. Yeah, that's good enough. Then I need to throw down some... A case of me saying, I got nothing. Alright. Very good. No, I just like... I like the idea of having all your bases covered. Like, I respect that. Let's settle these guys, or not settle them. Let's make sure they have elevation before I do this. You know, with the short show, I can sort of keep up motivation for anything. Now my motivation is waning. We're gonna have to do this school. This is a really annoying triangle that's gonna need to get done. And then these blocks, that triangle, and then what else do we have to do? We need to do stuff on this side as well. We have this triangle to work on. The more we go, like, the more we flesh this out, the closer we get to, like, pushing the envelope of this area's done in this easterly direction, which is going to be good. It's going to be good because we'll have that done. And yeah, part of me really does want to just have this thing chicane, like pull a hard right here and just run through the middle of the suburbs and then pull another left and go back to the river. And I don't know why. Yeah, it's not 10% actual stuff, 90% scenery. I mean, it is 90% scenery. That's the route building. 10% track laying and landscaping, and just like 90% building town and scenery. Now, it doesn't have to be like this. And if I end the stream on any place, I'm gonna pull up the map so we can take an appraisal of what we want to do with that branch line. But while I do that, let me leave you with this. It doesn't have to be like that, right? I build my routes a certain way, and I know I've said this 100 times, but one of the things I set out to do on Tolbrun was to create a realistic route, and that meant realistic spaces between towns and realistic sizes of towns. If you're doing that, it means you're going to build a lot of town, like a lot of town, unless your route's in the middle of the woods. And even then, building your camp town, it might not be very small. But you can get away with much less than this. You do not need to do this on a route. It's just, if you look out into the real world, you'll notice that the areas that train tracks touch are a small fraction of the areas that have buildings in them. And consequently, you're going to have a lot of area with buildings. And, you know, even then I'm cheating, right? Like this area should be like 3 or 4 times the size that it is. This is a lot of railroad for not a lot of town, and we have a lot of town. You know, with the volume of industry here and the volume of commercial here, we should be like there should be an entire city's worth of just, you know, brownstones and just row houses. I think something that might be an interesting exercise is looking up the zoning of the cities in Rhode Island and seeing how much is allocated for residential versus industrial versus commercial. Um, and then just sort of skewing the probabilities back a little bit. How would you accomplish that? I'm not sure. But it could be an interesting exercise if you really wanted to drill down on what you should and shouldn't and can and can't be doing when it comes to making a realistic route. Um, so I don't want to discourage anyone when they look at this route. I don't want anyone to come into this stream and go and think the bar is so high, I will never reach it. I should give up now. How many mattresses can we fit in the city? Yeah, that is why I said brownstones. I was watching that video earlier today. Yeah. Gloria's best rendition of Baker Street over there. No, the bar is wherever you want to put it and wherever you're capable of putting it, and it will not look like this your first time through. It won't look anywhere close. I invite everyone to go back and look at the routes I had towards the beginning. Even the one I had before this one. The Iron Horseman route. A thing you can download if you want to look at it. Getting the assets is a tremendous pain in the neck. But, you know, it shows you where I was at with route building just a few years ago. And by a few, I mean like a decade, but that's beside the point. Don't think about it. I have come a long, long way on just Tolbrand. And I came no small part of that way because I sat down and I said, I want to build it like this. You don't have to. And right off the bat, you shouldn't. It's too much. You don't get anything for the amount of work that you're doing. I'm here because I enjoy the process. I enjoy the route building. I enjoy the research. I enjoy the conversation. There will never be a finished product, I don't think. I have no delusions about that. And I'm fine with that. What was there was another thing I was trying to say there, and I lost it. What I'm trying to say is that if you're coming to Trainz for any other reason than I want to sit down and build a route for the next 10 years, build whatever, take it to whatever point that it works and looks acceptable. Make your towns a couple of streets and a fire department and a church and 10 houses. If you're not putting into competition, it doesn't matter that much. What matters is you've got a railroad that you have fun running. I don't really have fun running in Trainz, as evidenced by my frustration last episode. And double as evidenced by, hey, Rolling Line multiplayer came out, and it's, like, way better than driving in Trainz. And that's really saying something. Because Rolling Line driving is really frustrating. But between Railroader and Rolling Line, the simplified train driving itch is definitely scratched by this point, and I think N3V really needs to look to the creation and simulation aspects, which they are, in order to see a way forward for the Trainz series. And this is what I wanted to harp on in this episode, especially, again, after Rolling Line multiplayer came out, and after I've spent so much time in Railroader on the Appalachian Railway. And I'm glad you think Olive is impressive. I think the town part of Olive is great. Like, the residential part. The industrial commercial part is the commercial part is way too small. The industrial part is ridiculous and discombobulated. But no, I don't think you should normalize the idea of redoing scenes constantly. I think you should be okay with tweaking something. But I think we should normalize the idea of the opposite. 80% done is done. That's what I mean. Like, would I love to sit down and redo Olive? Yes. In a heartbeat. But I've got more route to work on, and olive is fine. I might not be super happy with it, but it's fine. And that's what you have to strive for. You need to find a level that you're fine with, and then enjoy your railroad. So let's look at our map really quick. And I'll pop onto screen mode for this. And I wanna nail home the point that whatever you build is fine. You know? Whatever you build is fine. You can't be too hard on yourself. You are the one who sets the bar. Put it somewhere you can reach. Find, don't put it out of reach so that you'll always be unhappy. It's an iterative process. It takes time. And that's fine. That's good, even. The Gelsonese, the Geiger Mountains, I didn't have towns at all. The Tamaros Vale and Anaconda, I had lip service to towns. I think I only had one in the first place. And yeah, I worked on it. There was some creative energy in there, certainly. But it's not impressive by any stretch. And even the Iron Horseman Railroad, the towns got a little bigger, but they're not fleshed out. Not the ones that I did, really. They're a couple of intersections. Some of the ones that other people did are much more impressive. So anyhow, let's look at strive for mediocrity. Yeah, I have delusions of adequacy over here. So we have to go southeast, pretty much due southeast to get to Randall, and reach this split to Cobra and Mansfield. I think we change this up a little bit because again, I am partial to the idea all of a sudden of shaking things up just a tad, just a bit, and cutting this railroad inland. Now, I like this. I don't really want to get rid of this crossing and bridge because I think that looks cool. That's a cool scene. I know you got to kill your darlings, but bear with me for a minute. Something that I could do is have the river take a hard turn and then have the town expand over it. But I would rather just take a turn and run through the suburbs. And this was supposed to be designed after, I think, Nashua was this area. But if I decide to go this way, right? If I decide to take a right and go this way, will I throw the whole thing off? How much do I want to follow the river? I mean, we've got plenty of space. This, between Pan Am and Bellington is like 15 miles. Where's my yardstick? There it is. What layer is it on? Legend. I'm not going to save my edits here, so let's just do it like this. Oops. That's 15 miles or so. Okay, so it's not quite 15, it's more like 10. This, between Randall and South Bellington, is about the same distance. We've got plenty of time to go away from the river and then come back to the river. And we have, because this is going to be uphill slightly, we can engineer a reason why the tracks go away from the river for a while and then climb up and wrap back around. I'm sure we can. And the thing is, railroads take the path of least resistance, and they take the straightest route that they can without running into hillsides and problems, right? Just doesn't make sense. There's two things going on here. There's two reasons why I don't want to do this, and I do really want to do this. Reason one is it takes us off of the course that we're aiming for, which is to follow this river up towards Randall. Now, I do think that we shouldn't have a Y right here in Randall. I think we should have a Y over here in Cove, or over here at like, let's call it North Randall. Let's see. Um, and then let's grab this, and then we're going to draw a line, brush size 2, no anti-aliasing, to like there. That's, I think, the first junction we have that's not out of town. Oh, no, I guess we have that one. And that one. I guess there are other ones, whatever. The point is that North Randall. Now, maybe we save the idea of that scene for Randall. Maybe because we have a highway, or it's actually named after Shelby's old car.
Well, there's a lot of cows there.
Yeah, well, this is gonna be like pasture and farmland, so there could be plenty of cows outside in Randall.
Different varieties of cows too.
Well, I don't know how much. I don't know how much of that. I don't know how many good cows are available on the DLS. When VMR extension. This section is my next section to do. This section right here. So, well, sorry. This general section right here. From Bellington the long way through Appleton and to Doecliff. So you'll get more VMR when I do that. In 75 years or so. I think that's my next section. It's either that or this way. But I have yet to make a decision. I think this is a likely candidate because it makes the route more whole. It gives more options. Anyhow, I think, see, we build Blood Gulch. It's just going to be 2 bases in a box canyon. Where did I put Blood Gulch? Oh, up there. Yeah. If somebody's made a Forge World in Trainz. But yeah, so as much as I want to do that, and I want to just plow through the middle of suburbia here, I think that's going to have to wait for Randall. Because for now, I'm going to keep following the river. As fun as that would be. Because otherwise, then I'm going to juke over here and then come back. And I don't think that's going to happen. This is, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 approaches to this location by railroad. And I'm keeping them more or less spread out. Realizing you can go from there to there, you can go from there to there, you can go from there to there. Yeah, you can go from any approach to any approach straight through if you really wanted to, which I like doing that. Okay. Well, my throat's doing okay. I don't have to end it quite yet, but I keep teasing like I'm going to wrap this up. And I need to not do that, because when I say that, everybody leaves, and I'm left by myself. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I will see you again next week. Throat permitting. This is the Admiral. Signing off.